Welcome to Finance Enterprise How to Create a Change Order training. This training is for individuals who have been approved to create requisitions in Finance Enterprise on behalf of their departments and division. It will help you to understand how to navigate Finance Enterprise to create requisitions for change orders. This training will cover what is a change order, creating a change order requisition, approving a change order requisition, copy of a purchase order, receiving and printing receiving sign-off report. What is a change order? A change order is entered to add, change, or delete an existing order or service on a purchase order, blanket purchase order, term agreement, or work assignment. A change order is also used to cancel a requisition which is in PO status. Prior to creating a change order, ensure the existing purchase order, blanket purchase order, term agreement, or work assignment is still open. Status should be showing of PO or PP. If the status is DE or FP, you must contact accounts payable and request the PO to be reopened prior to issuing the change order. To create a change order to the release order, see instructions for creating release orders. If you are unsure when to create a change order, please contact procurement for guidance. Creating a change order. The path to create a change order is POU PPR. From Fiscal User Standard Layout, you can use POU PPR in the search bar in the top right corner of the workspace and click on Purchase Request POU PPR, or in the workspace, click on the Procurement tab, then in Processing Component, click on POU PPR. Click on the plus icon at the top left of the screen. Click on the PR field. You will see a lightning bolt appear next to the PR field. Click on the icon lightning bolt and select PR seed for a purchase order, blanket purchase order, or PRTA for a term agreement, or PRWA for a work assignment. The system will assign the next available number. Click on the PO field. You will see a lightning bolt appear next to the PO field. Click on the lightning icon and select POTA for term agreement or POWA for work assignment. The system will assign the next available number. For all R and N requisition numbers, whether they are regular purchase orders or blanket purchase orders, do not pull a PO seed number. For change order release orders, do not pull a PO seed either. Instead, you will type the original release order number in the PO field. Click on the drop-down to select your security code. If you have access to multiple security codes, select the security code that goes with this requisition. Click on the Requested By field and enter the person's name that is requesting this purchase along with their extension number. Click on the Vendor ID field and enter the vendor ID. If unknown, click on the keyboard icon to go to the data lookup screen, or Control-L to select the vendor ID. In the data lookup box, type the vendor name in the name column blank field. Hit the tab button or click on OK. To select the vendor, highlight and click on the required name, select the PO address code, then click on OK, or double-click the vendor name. Using wildcards is also an option when only a portion of the vendor's name is known. In the Details tab in the In Use field, use the field to enter a brief description of your purchase. In the Ship To field, you're going to enter your Ship To ID. To search for the Ship To ID, click on the keyboard icon. The data lookup box will appear. Type your department or division name in the blank name field and hit Enter or OK. Select the Ship To address by highlighting and clicking on OK or double-clicking the address. All Ship To addresses will begin with the letter S. In the Items tab, enter quantity, units, description, unit price. Be specific when entering a description. Stock item numbers are not sufficient information. The description "A desk" is not a valid description of what you want to purchase. Type your description in all caps. For purchase order and blanket purchase order change orders, include the purchase order number in the description. Note: if you will be making partial payments, it is advisable to put the dollar value in the quantity field and 1 in the unit price field. Otherwise, when you receive, you'll be receiving 1 at an X dollar lump sum. In the Notes tab, you will enter the quote information or information you would like your procurement professional to know in the PR Notes field. Please remember that these notes do not print on the PO. In the Account field, you're going to enter the account key and object code information. You may click on the ellipsis next to the Work Order field to find the account key and/or object code. For blanket purchase order, use the account key 501-000-3698 and the object code 596000. Saving your requisition. Hit Enter or click on the Save Changes button on the left navigation toolbar when done. You will receive a Record Accepted message on the top right corner of the screen. Note the PR number in case you must leave the screen and locate the record later. If you did not receive a Record Accepted message but received a budget warning you do not have sufficient funds, take the necessary steps to move money into the account. When your requisition is ready to be submitted through the workflow for approval, follow the steps below. Approving a requisition. When the requisition is ready for the manager's approval, you, the originator, must, from the workspace in the POU PPR screen, open the requisition, click on Approvals on the left navigation toolbar, click on Approve, or you may approve in tasks in your workspace. Ensure Group Tasks is off. Write any necessary comments in the Add Comment window and then click Submit. Once you have approved the requisition, it will electronically route to your manager for approval. Once a manager has approved the requisition, the system will display a check next to the requisition that has been sent to workflow showing it has been submitted on the Approvals tab. The requisition will then route to the Procurement Division. Send an email to purchasing@mymanatee.org, include in your subject line the purchase requisition number, and attach any supporting documentation to the email. If you do not have any supporting documentation, please indicate this in your email. Once a requisition has been approved by procurement, it will be printed by procurement and become a purchase order. An electronic copy will be sent to the requisition originator and the vendor. A copy of the PO will also be available in OnBase. Departments should not print or reprint a purchase order in Finance Enterprise. Change orders to blanket purchase orders, term agreements, and work assignments are posted on the intranet under Blanket and Term Agreements. There is no receiving or printing of a receiving sign-off sheet on a change order for a blanket purchase order. The receiving and printing is done through the blanket release order that is generated by the department. If the change order is not for a blanket purchase order, please see instructions below on how to receive and print the receiving sign-off sheet. The path to receive is POU PRC. When you have received the services and/or goods and an invoice from the vendor, open the requisition, click on the Screen Links tab on the left navigation toolbar of your screen. You can also enter POU PRC in the search bar at the top of the screen. Then click on Receiving Information, POU PRC, and enter the purchase order information. Select Receiving Information. The POU PRC screen will auto-populate with the requisition information if you use the Screen Links tab. Date received. This will auto-populate with the current date. You may enter a different date if needed. Packaging, enter the invoice number or month, year of service. Purchase Order Items tab. For partial receiving on the PO, click on Manual. If all items have been received, you may also click on Fully Received rather than receiving multiple items individually. Enter quantity, accepted, and click Done. Click on Save Changes button to update the record. You will receive a Record Accepted message. Close the POU PRC screen. You may now print your receiving sign-off report. The path to print the receiving sign-off sheet is POR-ERS. You can enter that in the search bar on the workspace. Then click on Receiving Sign-off Sheet, POR-ERS, or in the Procurement tab, Processing Component, you can simply click on POR-ERS. In the Receiving Sign-off POR-ERS screen, enter the PO number. The receiving date will auto-populate with the current date. You may enter a different date if needed, but it must be the same date entered in the Date Received field of the receiving screen, POU PRC. Leave other fields checked. Leave the line printer as archived, then click on the Submit button. You will receive a message, Submitted Job, and the job number. Close the POR-ERS screen. Go to your Jobs component on the workspace. Click on Refresh. Your job should show with all the details under Jobs, including a status of completed. Under Attachments, you will find the tail sheet and doc. Click on the doc to open the document and click on Print at the top right corner of the document. Your receiving sign-off sheet will print to your default printer. Click on Close tab at the bottom right corner of the doc to close out your document. The invoice, supporting documents, and receiving sign-off sheet should be sent to Finance for payment. Thank you for completing Finance Enterprise Training, How to Create a Change Order. If you have any questions or need assistance with creating requisitions, please contact us at extension 3014.